Yo, what's good? It's Bear in the building. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Kueen Talk. If you are new here, welcome. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this episode. You guys, we got a special guest today, located in Texas, the one behind ThaConcernedHuman, Kaptivator Wilson. Welcome, Kaptivator Wilson. How you doing?
What's up? Appreciate you having me. Thank you. I am good. I'm amazing. Another day to impact.
Yes. And you are doing a lot of impact. We're going to get all into it. You're doing a lot of impact. When I was doing my little research, behind the scenes, I was like, yeah, you're really involved. It's really good to see. Just naturally, I'm finding guests, you guys. If you guys know of any guests, please send them my way. I had a friend of mine sending me a family member.
Yes, thank you. Shout out to Cuz.
Yeah. Shout out to Takita. But what, you were here in Wichita, then you moved to Louisiana and Texas. Like, you were getting up out of the Midwest, but did you grow up in Wichita?
Definitely. Born and raised Wichita, Kansas, born and bred, high school athlete. So a lot of people know me from high school sports, from high school impact, from moving and shaking. I played a different sport every season. The thing is, really the only thing you can do in the Midwest to make sure that you're moving forward and always busy. So whether it was summer ball, school ball, anything, I was always playing something, doing something. So a lot of people know me from that. I went to West High, graduated from West High School. Exactly, right? After graduation, I was blessed enough to have a few different options for scholarship purposes. Chose to go to a scholarship to Louisiana, which is what took me to Louisiana.
Okay.
After Louisiana, playing ball, thankful enough to have my athletic ability pay for my schooling. I was blessed and
amen.
Didn't have to owe Sally or May for anything. So thank God for that.
Congratulations. Yes.
Right. That's a blessing.
You a hooper then. You was a hooper.
Oh, that's a blessing in itself. Anytime you can say you don't owe Sally Mae, hey, you already got one check. So with Louisiana and just fell in love with the South, the culture side of it, the culture piece of it. I knew wherever I landed, in general, I wanted to make sure that whether it was me going through it, whether it was kids going through it, raising kids, anything, I wanted to make sure that the culture was important, that I could always stay involved in that side of it. So stayed in Louisiana for a little while. Career took me to Texas, actually back to Kansas and back to Texas, with some relocations, some promotions. And now I'm here. Can't complain. It's hot. Harry, that's about the only complaint is that it's hot. In Kansas, they say if you don't like the weather, just wait, 20 minutes to go outside. It's going to be something different.
Right.
Yeah, no. In Texas, you don't like the weather. If you wait 20 more minutes, it's just going to be hotter. So you just got to, just don't complain. Just take the temperature for that it is for that time. Or just wake up early. Get up 4 or 5 o'clock. You'll be all right until the noonday. So, yeah. Right. So now I'm a resident of Texas. Been here about 4 years now, and definitely, trying to make it a home at this point.
Yeah, so I'm curious, what work has taken you traveling these places and landing you in Texas?
So at first in Louisiana, I was a police officer.
Okay.
Did that for a little while after school.
Pause. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Being a Black woman police officer, like what was like, okay, I want to be a police officer. And
so for me, as you'll, kind of get, and you'll see that a lot of the things that we talk about in this time, it will be wrapped around community and impact, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, it wasn't necessarily the officer side of it, because everybody looks at the officer like, oh Lord, that is just a difficult job. Is it hard? Yes, it is, because you have people's lives and livelihood sometimes in your hand. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing that you can do. But to me, I knew early that I wanted to make an impact in the community. And it was like, how can you do that without physically running for office or being an official that can sign an official document or something like that? Out of college, a few years after college, like you're not thinking, let me go run to be an elected official or let me do that. You're like, how do I impact? I knew very early that I wanted to impact the community, which is, again, a thing that drove me with sports or coaching during sports and things like that I did during college and right after college. It's the impact side of it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be a police officer because no, it may not be on a grand scale, but when I show up to a call, essentially, like I said, that person's life, that person's livelihood, the impact that they go going forward is essentially in my hand. Right. So I did that for a few years. I definitely enjoyed it.
Was your major in like criminal justice or what? Okay.
Not at all. So I am a double communication major, mass communication. nonverbal and verbal communication.
Okay.
So that again, that started it. It was I did the broadcast journalism side. Went to one of the best broadcast journalism schools in southeastern Louisiana. So I got a lot of connections that way. Was able to be boots on the ground during Hurricane Katrina because we were actually hub
Yeah.
zero for a lot of the police officers and fire department and things like that. Used our gym to stay. So I got to see a lot of that, and that
Yeah.
for me was very important, impactful, all that good stuff. So I'm just like, okay,
So
this is
you were there right after during like Hurricane Katrina then.
yes, during, after, before, we got the notification. I was playing basketball, this basketball season. So we got the notification that there would be a Category 5 hurricane hitting the New Orleans, Mississippi, well, Louisiana, Mississippi area. We actually had a teammate who lived in Mississippi. About 4 or 5 of us went to her residence in Mississippi, and stayed, lost light, went through the whole thing, helped her because she stayed on a farm. So we helped her family clean up the farm afterwards. And when we came back to school to start training again, we realized, hey, we can't because our gym has now been taken over by the fire department, search and rescue, things like that. So we became very aware of what was going on because they'd have pictures, they'd
Yeah.
have videos, they'd have conversations with us from them. And then also, like I said, because I was in the broadcast journalism department, we were going over how do you research this? It's a sensitive subject. But how do you find information from people without kind of feeling intrusive?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you're digging into their loved ones have literally they've lost everything in
Yeah.
their lives. So yeah, it was a turning point. That was probably the point in my life that I was like, hey, yeah, I know that making an impact in people's lives is important to me because you never know what people are going through or what they have gone through. But if you can give them just a bright spot, even for a moment, to take their mind off of whatever it is that they're going through, then that's a blessing to them.
Yeah, and like that documentary had just came out, and I'm in middle school when this happened. So like I remember students like coming to school, like maybe like a handful of them came to school. One that a family actually lived behind my grandparents' house, but no idea the behind the scenes of everything
Mhm.
that went on. Of just like I was like I my partner watched the whole thing. I couldn't even finish finish
It
this
is.
series of it. It was
It's difficult. I don't want to watch it. I lived through it, so I'm like, I don't need to relive the
yeah,
series. It definitely was a turning point in my life of, okay, how do I help? How do I do? We started volunteering. We started fixing foods, hot meals,
right.
clothes donations. That was kind of the turning point for me to be able to impact the community in general.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for doing that too. Like to see like because there was a lot of people that didn't do that. Like so to have people like you that really wanted to help and really like put that impact in there, like shout out to you. Like because
Appreciate it.
like I said, I mean, I could not imagine like what that was like, and then just like you're playing ball like that's like your career like I assume like after that like was that your last year of basketball, like did you continue after that, like what did you
Oh,
just
yeah,
go
no, it
straight
was
to impact
definitely,
after?
yeah, it wasn't my last year. Definitely was not my last year. I want to say it was my second or third year when Katrina hit. So I still had time to play, but it was definitely I became more aware of this life and people's
Mm-hmm.
trials and tribulations and the things that go on around me, right? You can become so self-absorbed about
You're
what you
right,
have
yeah.
going on that you don't realize that there's 10 million things of other people that are going around. So I think that is what got me, if that makes sense. So
Yeah, for
it was kind
sure.
of one of those
Being
those type things.
selfless. Yeah. I think that is really important because we do get wrapped up in just thinking about ourselves, what's next for yourself, and even when it comes to like this laws and stuff like with voting for President Trump, like why you voted for President Trump, it was a very selfish reason and not thinking about everyone around you that it could impact, but like maybe it could save you on your taxes or maybe it was going to lower exam, but didn't think about any of the impact that's what's doing right now, which is super scary. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you think about like what they're doing, like, and you think about just in the past of history, like it's crazy right now. Like I'm just like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah.
So definitely just be selfless. I love that. Like it's and that's needed now to like just for sure. And so like after that you became a police officer and you said you did that for a little bit, and What?
Yeah, I did that for a little while, police officer, and then I was also a foster parent for 9 years. So again, the impact of being able to help people, seeing a lot of the kids during that time that were losing parents, not voluntarily because their parents are messing up. Yes, you do have those parents that go through the hard times that, get their kids taken from them. But a lot of the time, children were just losing their parents because of the storms, because of the bad situations, the living situations, not being able to pick themselves up and restart type things. So I became a foster parent, ended up being a foster parent, like I said, for 9 years, but wanted to do that, was a police officer. I ended up getting amazing
when
little
you're
ones, and I realized,
you realize what? Sorry, you realize what?
no, you're good. I just realized that at this point, I'm in a profession that will not allow me to be in my children's lives. So I have to figure out, like, is this something that I want to do and truly, uh, you know, gain a family, and have a family, or is this a profession that I'm just gonna have to continue to make impact? And I realized that you can't have little ones and be working 12 on, 12 off, showing up to calls, not knowing if you're gonna get shot at, if you're gonna get, anything happen. And about the third or fourth high speed chase, I was like, yeah, I might need to find something else for me to do at this
Yeah,
point before I have to have someone giving a call to my kids saying, "Hey, you've lost a parent due to XYZ." So
yeah. Being a black woman, like in that field, in a male dominated field, did you have like confrontation? Your experience? Your experience? What was it like?
it was hard. It's hard in general. I think every
Mm-hmm.
profession that I've been in, because I went from that into corporate America. I've always been into, the management side of it. And at the end of the day, police officer management, whether it's retail, out of retail, corporate America, management is a male dominated. Any management sense or higher level is seen as a male dominated field.
Mm-hmm.
So just the officer side of it was hard for multiple reasons. I tell people all the time that we are already overcoming obstacles by walking into a door. Before I say
Mm-hmm.
hello, how are you doing, introduce myself, say a name, state a title of what position or anything, I
Mm-hmm.
already have strikes against me. I'm a black woman. I am a gay black woman. I am an
Mm-hmm.
educated black woman. I am walking
Mm-hmm.
in with a title that can be greater than majority of the room that I'm walking into. So they're already looking at me like, how did she get there and I'm not there? And then when you add the police officer uniform, it's a authoritative figure that in the black community is taught to be fearful of because you don't know
Mm-hmm.
what your outcome may be. So I'm already walking through a door, going up to a call, showing up into a situation which strikes against me already. So
Yeah.
it was definitely difficult from the side of the public as well as the side of the fellow officers. So any African American woman that is in any type of field, police officer, firefighter, paramedic, anything that is assisting the community, they are showing up to every call already with strikes against them. And on their end, they're just showing up to assist. They're showing up to try to help someone. They're showing up to try to make someone's day better. You know, it's it can be very difficult. And I learned my uncle was a firefighter for 30 years and seeing him earn the respect of the community from a black man in that type of role was definitely the little push that I needed to get into
Mm-hmm.
the police field, but it was hard. It was very difficult. It was times that
Definitely.
I was frustrated because I'm like, I'm not showing up to tear your family apart. I'm literally showing up to assist. But I
Right.
understand from the community side, we're already taught to be
Mm-hmm.
cautious when you get that.
Right. Yeah. What advice would you have for someone that may be interested in doing impact and being a police officer that's interested in that field?
My advice for anyone in that field or just a field of an upper echelon in general, chasing a dream, is just remember your why, right? People can tear you down. They can try to create situations. They can try to create rumors. They can try to create negative innuendos. They can do anything towards you. But if you are consistently showing up and remembering your why, then there's nothing really that they can tear down because you are focused on you. You see what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
that could be in anything, not just a police officer. That's
Right.
a
Yeah.
field of I want to chase a dream, I want to chase a business, I want to anything. If you remember your why of why you're doing it, of your purpose of doing it, then every time someone shoots something negative at you or tries to bring you down or tell you why it's not right, you have 15 reasons in the back of your mind already of, I already know that I can do this because this is why
Yeah,
I'm doing it. So just remember your
exactly.
why every time you show up because you will get tested, you will get tried, and you will have to live and die on that why.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that answer. Remember the why. Remember the why. And speaking of like why, I feel like your impact of the concerned human with everything like you've already mentioned before, of just like how you've been helping others like in every chance that you can get. Um, the concerned human is like wrapped up in a bow of just like anything that you need help with, I can provide that for you. When did you start the concerned human, and what made you want to start something of your own like that?
So the concerned human honestly has gained traction within the last couple years. Been a evolution of who I am, honestly. Coming from the police officer, going into the management side, always, of course, you understand when you're in management, you're a therapist, you're a manager, you're all type of things, type situations. Always being sports oriented. I joined a female mass presenting organization called Gammaalphapsi, who is very big in the community and impacting things. So all these different roles, I would do different things or take on different titles or roles or positions or I'm always doing something, whether it's paraphernalia or creating something for someone, a DJ, photographer, like everything that I always poured myself into or poured my passion into. Everyone would always say, you just do it with so much concern. Like you are genuinely concerned about making sure that you bring people's visions to life, no matter what it is, or enjoy, what you do. And I'm like, yeah, it's not me showing up for people, just to show up for people. I am authentically showing up as myself. And everyone kept saying, hey, you do so much for others. When are you going to start pouring into yourself? You know what I mean? Or when are you going to
Mm-hmm.
allow people, which is what we as Black women don't do a lot, is allow people to pour into us because we're so busy pouring into other people. When are you going to pour into yourself? When are you going to do something for yourself? And I just started on social media. You know how you start doing something and they be like, someone says something crazy, and I'm like, it's just me, just showing my concern. And I started
Yeah.
doing different things, shooting different advices, when people would call me and tell me, well, let me help you with your concern. And it just kind of turned into, well, clearly I'm just the concerned human because everything that I'm doing is some kind of concern. So the last 2 years, I was like, instead of pouring into others and just doing it as a joke or doing it as a something that people know me as, let me genuinely do this as who I am because it honestly is who I am. So I
Yeah.
created my concerned human business and the umbrella. And now I'm focused on expanding it, not just letting people know it's not a person, it is a brand. Like, am I the concerned
Mm-hmm.
human? Yes, I am the face behind it. But essentially, it is a brand. It is genuinely me um, caring about people's concerns, whatever it is or whatever aspect it is that I'm doing, whether it's community service, whether it's my org, whether it's my business. That is authentically who I am. I am the concerned human.
Yeah. And if you guys didn't know, like you could check out more information about it. And the why is I pulled this from your website. But do you want to explain like the purpose of why you started it?
Yeah, my mission is basically just to impact the community and to bring their concerns into life. I tell people all the time that my concern is the bridge between art and action, right? The art is what those people have, the creativity, everybody says, I have this idea, but I don't know what to do with it, or I want to do this, or I think this, or what do you think this would do that? So the concern is the bridge, right? When you have someone that is genuinely willing to listen to you, to pour into you, to say, I understand what you're saying, to sometimes give you those straightforward conversations because sometimes you just need to hear the ultimate truth, regardless of how it makes you feel. Sometimes that feel is hurt. Sometimes that is an excited, ecstatic feel. But that's the bridge between art and action, right? So the people is the art. I'm the action because I have the skills to try to bring that to life. The
Mm-hmm.
concern is me, So my goal, my mission is just to bring the thoughts, the visions of what people have, and turn those into real life celebrations, real life victories, whether we're celebrating big victories or small victories. And that could be, like I said, not just me as a person, as a brand. When
Mm-hmm.
you guys visit the website, The Concerned Human, it's .org. So theconcernedhuman.org. You will see it's whether it's me selling my own paraphernalia for the Concerned Human. I have a book on there as well, which is a 30-day book that you can go through and you work through it on your own terms, your own times. But it's a self reflection that kind of has you sit in yourself and realize things that you may not know about yourself. Whether it's me DJing at an event, people don't realize DJing is a whole vibe. If the DJ can bring everyone together and have everybody feel good, then it's a good event. Whether it's photography, whether it's me behind the lens shooting you, making you feel amazing about yourself, because when you feel confident of those pictures coming through, then you have confidence in yourself. So no matter what it is,
Yeah.
the Greek world know me for custom paraphernalia. They have an idea of a jacket or a piece of clothing, and I'm able to bring it to life to where they step in and they represent who they are authentically and confidently. So I'm that bridge between what people have and what they want to see.
Yeah, you're a jack of all trades. I did when I was looking at the website. I was like, yeah, she does this, this. I was like, they're just doing their damn thing.
Yeah.
I love to see it though. I feel like it is important to have representation too. Like I'm
Mhm.
big like on Kueen Talk. Like that's my why.
Mhm.
Is to get that representation out there. And I feel like in a lot of things that I've like seen that you're doing, it is giving you that representation of like who you are, and like you're finding these mass presenting women. Like you before this, you're like, yeah, I just came from flag football. I've seen the flag
Mhm.
football team. Like you're getting to these groups of people. I mean, just before you said like the Lavender Diaries and like the Quiet Dominance, like you're putting yourself in these situations, and I'm just like, I am trying to create that too, like here
Mhm.
in the Midwest, of just like that
Hard.
culture of just like,
It's hard.
yeah, it is. And I seen you mention the sorority. Did you join that? That's mass presenting women. Did you? But it also has, but also trans men are also a part of the group. Was that during your time in Louisiana? Like you joined that like while you're still in school, or?
Yes, so I've been a part of the organization for this will be my 16th year. I'm being a member of Gamma Alpha Psi. So again, coming from Kansas, coming from the Midwest, 800 miles away from home in Louisiana, as you said, presenting those avenues for mass presenting individuals, trans individuals, just the LGBTQ plus community in general is hard. Even more so now because of the climate of just our world. But before
Mm-hmm.
it was more so hard 15, 20 years ago, simply because people didn't know how to connect or they were afraid to come out and connect. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm 800 miles away from home. How do I find friends other than just basketball? Right. I'm playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, my teammates know me because they're with me half of the day after classes, or they see me on campus, or people at school know me because of basketball. So it's easy for me to make sports friends, but I'm not just a sports person, right? I am interested in the impact. I'm interested in this. I just want to go and have a good time, or go to a live band or poetry, and things like that. So what do I
Mm-hmm.
do? Well, I was at actually our athletic trainer who was a member of this organization already. She was from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. My school, Southeast Louisiana, is in Hammond. It's about 45 minutes away. She was like, "Hey, just come hang out with us, see what we're about." And I'm like, just like most mass presenting or most, of the community in general, I don't want to hang out with a whole bunch of gay people. Like, what y'all go? You know what I mean? Everybody has that stigma. I don't want to hang out with a whole bunch of gay. What is y'all about to be doing? Y'all about to, this is about to be horrible. I'm about, okay, I'm gonna come. I don't have anything else to do other than play sports, so I'm gonna come. I ended up going and seeing that it's a lot of people breaking down those stigmas that we have, right? Business professionals, people that have their own businesses, people that are making impact in the community. And I realized this is what I'm trying to get to. If you're trying to get
Mm-hmm.
to something, you have to surround yourself with those type of people. So it's a
Right.
genuine process, just like it is. We're a non-collegiate 501c3 organization. So we are big on the community because, again, we are accredited 501c3. It's not just us putting on some letters, putting on some stuff just to imitate, to mock, to do anything like that to any of our, everybody would know as the Divine Nine official, organizations. No, we are accredited. We have been in existence. This is our 19th year. Next year, we will celebrate 20 years of being founded as an organization. But like I said, we are in the community and we are literally breaking down those stigmas and creating the avenues, just like you said. We
Mm-hmm.
have doctors, we have lawyers, we have nurses, we have people that have businesses that are in every avenue, in every field. We have officers, we have, things that when we walk through those doors, as I said before, we already have those strikes. But they don't
Right.
realize we're walking as those owners. We're coming
Mm,
in as your lawyer that you need help with to get off. We're coming
mm,
in as your doctor that you're trying to figure out what is it that's wrong with me. So we are
yeah.
breaking down and you're realizing, wait, okay, like just this month, we adopted a family and was able to, because of our impact in the community, we literally donated 3 weeks worth of clothes and a complete month of personal hygiene and food to this family who completely lost everything because of what
Oh,
we do in the community. The flag football
yeah.
game that she spoke of, it was another one of those things, just an avenue to show that we can do things other than just be in the community doing nothing, causing trouble,
Right.
causing drama. Like we can do that. And matter of fact, this is our one of our biggest events. We have a trunk or treat, and we have been able to partner with 28 different organizations, 4 community partners, 6 different businesses, and a whole bunch of people like the police department and fire department that comes out. People donate pumpkins.
Love
We're able to park
that.
pumpkins. And it's a completely free event that we're able to give to the community that they literally, only thing they have to do is to show up and enjoy. There's music, face
Yeah.
painting, free candy. Like we have competitions, we give out trophies. And so those are the type of impacts. This last month, we just did Bowl for Breast Cancer, and we've been able to award every year $1,000 or $2,000 to a breast cancer foundation to somebody that helps. Sobriety Month, we stay sober for the entire month to bring awareness to things, and then we donate and we have these sober events. Again, it's not just a group everybody sees. I know that there's the stigma, just okay, it's a bunch of people just in colors and letters and they just doing stuff to just be doing stuff. No, we mean no disrespect to any Divine Nine organization. We truly exist to break down the stigmas and bridge the gap
Yeah.
between the LGBT community and those that are not in it, for the non-conforming, the non-binary, the mass presenting, the trans men,
Right.
those people that have walked through the doors with those checks, with those strikes. We exist to have that community of friendship, but to also have that community to break down the stigmas for the community. So it's a
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's a passion. I love it. All of our people love it.
And
So
it's, if you're interested, it is, and when I read it, it's all 50 states, like in the US. So if like you're interested in getting involved, you can do that.
yes,
I'll have the information in the description, that you can find access to not only your website but that website as well.
yes.
You mentioned a couple.
Gammaalphapsi.org is the website, but also all socials. If you search Gamma Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, you can find us on any social media, and you can find anything that we do. Whether it's you just want to come hang out with us, if you want to send us a message and find more information, more questions, or if you want to join or just donate, like we're all welcome to anybody and anything that they would love to do.
Yeah, and you mentioned just like stigmas earlier, and like if you think about the stigma that it comes to, like, oh, studs can't be friends with one another, or just like, or mass presenting women aren't friends with one another, like, was do you hear like that a lot? Like, what did you hear that growing up, or something from you? Is that, were you weary of just like going into that space, or like how did you feel about that?
So I hear it all the time, even more so now that I'm in a organization. They like, oh, y'all gotta have drama because there's no way that y'all could just be friends, or y'all gotta have this girl and that. No, there's none of that in our organization. Do we argue like brothers and sisters? Yes. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, anybody that has had a longevity friendship, relationship, it's not peaches and cream the entire time. Growing up, I didn't really feed into that because I was so focused on the sports aspect of it. A lot of my
Mm-hmm.
friends were just athletes, that I didn't really worry about it. I was so focused on how do I get to the next level, because I understand while the Midwest is not a bad place to be, if you are not honestly having your own business or wanting to be sports related, whether it's playing sports, coaching, something like that, for yourself, if you're not investing in yourself in the Midwest, it's very hard to branch out because, like I said, that culture piece of it is kind of missing. So I was so focused through high school to say, what is my next step after high school? So my athlete friends were my athlete friends. Now, when I got to college, it was like, okay, I don't want to be known as the gay girl to just be out and causing drama and doing all that stuff. So I'm like, wait a minute now, is it what is this? So I was very aware of my surroundings like that. I don't want to be part of the stigma. I want to make sure that whatever people see me or whenever I step into a room, that it is a positive. influence. It's a positive impact. It's a, oh, okay, you already have those. Oh Lord, this who's coming to help us out. Like when we would go feed or go, help with even during Katrina, we're literally showing up with free food, free clothes. We're helping you, and the first thing your look on your face is, oh Lord, who is this who's coming to help us? But by the end of the day, you're like, oh well, yeah, we love y'all. When y'all coming back? Y'all coming to do this? Y'all coming to play bingo? You know what I mean? So we enjoy having those being broke down. So I was always aware of my surroundings and my company and that, but I hear it. I understand people even that ask about our organization and part of joining. They're like, well, I don't want to do this, and y'all gonna do it. Y'all part of y'all. No, we aren't. We pride ourselves on loyalty, honor, and pride, and making sure that we are representation of our authentic selves. So, are you gonna argue and fight like brothers and sisters? Yes,
Right.
but we're not trying to feed into. We have enough of our community fighting against each other that we don't need to add a whole nother group of. We have over 100 some members in all 50 states. We don't need to add another 100 plus people to add to the stigma. So no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
Yeah. No, I
But I
love
understand.
that. I love that you're breaking that stigma and just like building that because, like I said, the representation that I already can envision of just like when you are with them, your cup is just like it gets filled just of having that. Like when someone just knows you're just like how you navigate this world, just like they get a glimpse of just like always having to be cautious of situations, like you mentioned earlier, and just it's with them. I like because I have like with certain friends, you get it. Our conversations are different. It's just a completely different dynamic, and you don't only just have that with the. Do you call it the sorority or fraternity or what? Because
We're classified as a fraternity.
fraternity,
So, yeah, we're
okay.
classified.
And I was also gonna ask about that because I seen something that said brothers. Do you guys go like by brothers, or you guys say because you mentioned brothers and sisters? So does it just like depends on the pronouns within the group?
Yes. So a lot of it is the pronouns in the group. So we understand that and we respect people in general because we do again we have not just mass presenting, we have trans men in our organization also. So respect of the pronouns first of all. We have non-binary, we have some theys and thems as well. So we respect the pronouns in general. As a masses, we are known as a brotherhood just simply because we are mass presenting in the non-collegiate. It's kind of one of those unsaid rules of the fraternity is known as the trans men, the mass presenting individuals. The sorority is known as the trans women or the feminine presenting individuals. So as the masses were known as a brotherhood, just simply because for purposes of the non-collegiate world, that's just kind of how they understand. That's the brotherhood over there. That's a brotherhood. That's a fraternity type situation like that. But individually, when we have conversations, I know that's the world in general, and that's the bridge we kind of break down. We think that every mass presenting, every trans man, I mean not trans man, but every mass presenting or stud or whatever classification that person presents as, they think they're a boy or they think they're that. At the end of the day,
That's what
we
my
are
next
very
question
respectful.
was.
Yeah, we know that we're women. Some people present different. Some people might only want to be called bruh. Some people don't mind being called sis or anything like that. We understand that our trans man, that's what they're going to be called because that's their pronouns, that's who they represent, that's who they authentically are. But if in a conversation it takes us, this or my sister over there, like we don't get upset because we understand at the end of the day we are females. We never want to show the representation that we are men at all other than our trans men because that's truly who they are. So yes, it is the brotherhood as in general, but calling someone a brother or a sister or anything like that, there's no fight, there's no arguments, there's no disrespect of
Yeah.
it in general. It's just, hey, this is who it is. That's the kind of conversation that you have for that person.
Yeah. Do you think the founder chose fraternity and brotherhood because of the trans men?
So I don't think so. We have 4 founders initially. They were always just mass presenting basketball players, right? They came, so a little bit of our history, which if you go on the website, you learn our founders were Kappa sweethearts. So that's why we are very respectful of the Divine Nine aspect of it. We don't want anyone to ever think that we're trying to mock, mimic, make fun of, or anything like that. We make that very clear. But when they're leaving college, they understand, well, you can't be a Kappa sweetheart as a grown adult or anything like that. That's a college thing that people go through, for pageantry or whatever it is that they have going on. But they realized that there was a void just kind of how you said, trans men, which that honestly has just evolved within maybe the past 5 or 6 years in our organization. It didn't start out like that. That's something we
Okay.
evolved in our community as we had members that transitioned. We wanted to make sure that they understood we're not leaving you out. At the end of the day, when you pledge us and you're our brother, you will forever be that no matter how you recognize. So we went in and we actually altered our bylaws to include our members that transitioned. And now we take on more members because we understand that
Nice.
is something that they have to fight. But they just
Yeah.
started out because it was for mass presenting, like I said, basketball players. There was no community. How do you make friends?
I had just asked about fraternity versus sorority, but I really had asked that question because on the internet, a lot of the time, on the internet, not a lot of the time, but on the internet, you see like people like expressing the differences of them. Like if you're a mass presenting woman, they're trying to clarify, I am not a trans man. Like, don't confuse me with the trans man. Like, that's not. But I also feel like personally, that's like a little bit of like a phobia, like homophobia, just like a little bit within that. But what do you guys hear that at all? Like that feedback of just like I would want to join this fraternity, but I don't want to because I'm still a woman or whatnot.
Yes, we definitely hear it. Everyone, I tell everyone, and we tell everybody personally, because a lot of people see what we do in the community or see us strolling or come to a probate and see the glitz and the glamour. Like I tell people, people shop with their eyes, right? And because we look put together or organized or kind of the bigger of the bunch, everyone's always, hey, I want to join you. Okay, but have you done your research, right? That is my main question to everyone. I'm not saying that I don't want you as a member. I would love to be able to have you as a member, be able to have more people to impact the community. But at the end of the day, it goes back to that original question of what is your why, right? What is your reason of joining this organization? For this, you have to have a why also. And if you don't remember your why, then you will get lost in all of the stuff that happens in the community or in the organization or in just the LGBT community in general, right? We kind of laugh and joke, but anybody that has had any kind of impact inside the LGBT community, we tell people all the time, sometimes your own community is worse than the outside public is against you. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of have that
Mm-hmm.
strong values, the strong why. So we get it, but we tell people read our mission, read our vision, read what we're about, see what we're about before you even join, or even come just ask the members to get a sense of how they answer. Are they delayed in their answer? Are they authentically answering to you? Are they able to give you a straight answer? If you ask the same question to 3 or 4 different members, are you getting the same answer? Or are you just getting a generic answer, right? We pride ourselves on making sure that we give you consistency, whether it's answers, whether you come ask one person the same question or 4 people the same question, you're going to get the same answer about our organization. So we definitely hear it. Not all fraternities and sororities have the same purpose of their membership in reference to who they let join. Some fraternities are just mass presenting. Some fraternities are just
Mm-hmm.
trans men. Some fraternities are just, have a mixture of people. Some are just non-binary. Even with the sororities, some of the sororities will allow trans women, feminine presenting. Even the organizations are just feminine in general. So you'll have gay, straight, bi, like it's that own individuals, I guess, founding members of the fraternity and sorority reasoning of why they're writing the bylaws and what they write the bylaws. So we definitely get it. But we tell people to find the why. You can see beyond just the label, trans man or mass presenting or, non-binary or whatever it is you want to classify yourself as, and you can see yourself being an impact in the community in those letters, then that's your why, right? It doesn't have to, you don't have
Yeah.
to be completely. We tell people all the time in our organization, there's a difference between a member and a brother, right? Just like when you join a sports team, there's a difference between your teammate and your friend, right? Not everyone is going to be your friend on that team, but you're going to have a lot of teammates on that
Mm-hmm.
on that team. So can you work with that team? Can you work towards one goal of winning that championship and put aside any differences or what you might have for not liking how they, conduct themselves personally outside of the whatever sport you're doing? And that's how you are able to move forward because it has to be about the bigger picture, not just I don't like this person because
Right.
they wear red and I don't like red. You know what I mean? It can't be that petty in your
Yeah.
reasoning.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear what you mean too. I was really curious about that when I read it because I've been seeing that just like a lot lately of really mass presenting women really trying to like separate themselves between the two.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then I seen that. I was like, okay, like they accept both. Like I was like, that's interesting. That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
And have you found some members here in the Midwest yet?
Yeah, so we have a member that is in Wichita, Kansas. So, you know, we've definitely got some Midwest people, we got some Chicago people. So we definitely have some
Uh,
Midwest members. We are all
yes.
over LA, Virginia, Louisiana, Texas, Florida. Like we have a lot of members in different states. So we tell people that it is not your impact is not stagnant on where you're located. You can make an impact anywhere that you can. And
Yeah.
we as a brotherhood don't mind if there's a plane, if there's a car with some gas, if there's a bus, we will get in droves in a group and we will go support whoever it is that we need to support because at the end of the day, we take care of our own. So it's never a situation
Love
of how
that.
far you are, how far you are like that. And they travel to us. You know what I mean? We have an annual Christmas gala every December. We have people everywhere. The trunk or treat I mentioned earlier. We have other organizations who enjoy what we do and what we provide to the community. We have people coming from Chicago, Florida, Virginia, Detroit. Like we just had a pageant a while ago, and we had members from everywhere of non-collegiate organizations that flew in. So it's a community in itself. It's a family in itself that we try to protect as much as possible. Those that try to make a mockery of, I understand that you might not feel comfortable in the divine organization, so this is what you come to. We try to educate them and we try to deter them because, again, we don't want it to seem like we're trying to do something that has already been done, right? It's simply us making a
Right.
community for
Yeah.
ourselves to just be able to have. So we definitely try to educate. We try to discourage that behavior and everything. But yes, you don't have to wait to be close to one of us. If you feel like I'm in this state and I can make an impact, but I, want the rest of that a brotherhood could bring, that we're here for it. We reach out to us or a member or anything. You know what I mean? Definitely.
Yeah, and like I said, I love what you're doing, the impact that it is making, and the representation that it gives for sure. And I'm sure it, like I seen your post, like what it does when you're around them. So finding those space, whether it is like with your fraternity or not, just like finding those spaces, whether it's a little club you find around your neighborhood or something, it's very important to get
Oh yeah.
involved with that.
Yep.
And you're not just involved with that, like I said, the Lavender Diaries. You mentioned a little bit earlier, and the Quiet Dominance. Like, what were these like things that you found like through that fraternity that led you to this, and or just being in Louisiana, Texas?
So a little of both, right? The fraternity has definitely put me in rooms with people who the community impact, right? When I state that we have members in our community that are always doing something, that's what we try to set people up to do what they want to do successfully. Being a part of the community or a part of the organization has led me. I am actually the volunteer coordinator for New Orleans Black Pride, so that has put me in rooms with that. Different rooms with that because if you think of a pride celebration in general, you have panels, you have people that come in and do different seminars. So being in that room from the organization allowed me to meet a set of individuals. We have Lavender Diaries. Lavender Diaries is a podcast you can find through Facebook. It's also on YouTube as well. It's on iHeartRadio. It's basically a panel. There is anywhere from 6 to 7 of us, sometimes 8 of us if we have some guests or anything like that, like a guest speaker. One side is films, one side is studs or mass presenting, feminine presenting. And we go through different topics, real life topics, and we give our honest perspective. We drop gems, we have fun in the process, but we talk about things that happen in the community, those uncomfortable conversations that people don't want to have. We talk about those, and you get both perspectives. We have individuals in our panel that, like I said, are mass presenting professionals. We have mass presenting that are younger. We have feminine presenting who has been on both sides, both the bi side, the straight side, the now on the LGBT side. We have fem on film. We have, so it's a collective of individuals from different lifestyles, to where you can get those different perspectives and we bounce off ideas. But we
I
talk
love
about,
that.
dating in the community. We talk about safe sex. We talk about the stigmas. We talk about the things that people are afraid to talk about a lot of times. We tackle those issues, friends will benefit, things like that, that the community sees as okay. We need to have these conversations, but I don't know. A, I don't know how to start them, or B, I don't want to
Yeah.
have that conversation because it turns into an argument. You see what I'm saying? People have their opposing views, and then in our
Yeah.
community, it turns into an argument, and they're like, "Well, I don't want to talk to you anyway because you this and that." we have those important conversations. The quiet dominance, as you mentioned, is the other one. The Quiet Dominance is a little bit different than the Lavender Diaries. I'm more of a panelist on that. It has two hosts that to go, and then I'm always a panelist or a special guest. But Quiet Dominance is those untouched conversations that we have in our community in private that we don't want to bring. It's simply what it says. So we talk about the stigmas of the kind of the dominant versus the submissive side. We talk about things in reference to a lot of those subjects that people see either as stigmas in our community or don't understand in our community. But we definitely have a good time, always educational. And you can find those on all three platforms as well, Facebook, YouTube, iHeartRadio.
I love like the Lavender Diaries. I did a special segment of Kueen Talk on platonic friendships within the queer community. And it was a group of us. And so that just like brought out like a bigger conversation. It just like got me thinking. It's just like that's a big topic for like the queer community and finding not just like we mentioned earlier, the stigma of just being friends with other mass presenting women and being friends with femmes, being friends with it's just men. And I don't really like now that I'm older, it's just like I don't always want to be around you guys. Yeah, so it's like finding that dynamic. And you found the perfect group. Like you've navigated and found those spaces. In Texas, besides the fraternity, are you finding like groups within that as well, like within like the community and
So yes, there definitely are a few groups that are here that try to move and try to take and different things like that. I'm very involved in regards to any of the circuits. A lot of people know me from the different pride circuits. So I try to bring in the more educational side of the Pride circuit. You know, people, of course, in general in our community, you show up to Pride, you expect to party, you expect to have fun and things like that. But what else are we doing on the educational side? We have a great partner, a guy named Brandon, who is on one of the boards of the healthcare, who allows us to, you know, do a lot on the educational side. Like I said, I mentioned part of the board of New Orleans Black Pride and those connections. We have people that curate amazing conversations, HIV activists, an HIV survivor, living with
when
HIV.
is that Black Pride in Louisiana? Like, is it during Pride Month or is it always
Yes,
later?
so this year we just dropped it. We just crowned our grand marshal for New Orleans Black Pride, but it is the first weekend of June in New Orleans. This year's theme is homecoming. So we expect people to go extravagant. We will have a homecoming court. We will have bands. We will have music. So we are so excited. This is year number 6. Last year we just celebrated year number 5.
Okay.
It was amazing. We were able to bring in like Anaya Lamise as our headliner. We're looking for bigger headliners this year. So it is an amazing time. If you've ever experienced the culture of New Orleans in general, it's amazing for the city of New Orleans. But we have people that come from all over. We have people from overseas. We had some Ghanaians, South African last year. So it was amazing to see the reach that we're now to. But yes,
Yeah.
this year it will be the first weekend of June in New Orleans. Details are already posted. Tickets usually go on sale at the beginning of the year for different packages and events. It's a full weekend. And when I say full weekend, I mean Thursday to Sunday, full weekend of events. But we invite people to come out, come volunteer, come have fun. And the same thing here. I'm not on the board of the Houston Pride 365, but I help out our organization participates. We always do the parade for that. So we're big that weekend with visibility of the mass presenting because again, to see a mass presenting organization organize a big float parade, you know, that big scale, they're like, okay, wait a
Yeah.
minute, we've never seen you guys. So
Yeah.
we
How do I get
definitely
involved?
yes, yes. That's always a big like where does this come from? We participate in all the different prides here. We like I said, we are an accredited 501c3 organization. We try to make sure we put emphasis on that. Here in Texas, our chapter is actually a part of the Texas LGBT Chamber of Commerce. We are the only
Yes.
LGBT organization, sorority, or fraternity that is a part of that here in Texas. We have a member, one of our members who is in New Orleans is actually on HRC. She is on the governing board of HRC. We have another member who was just the Baton Rouge, Louisiana Grand Marshal for their pride. So when I say we're big in the community and moving the impact forward and not just the party side of it, like how can we educate, how can we reach people, how can we
Yeah.
tell people and let them know that it's not just about the partying, right? It is
Right.
truly about the
Building
representation.
community. Yeah,
Yes,
and building community. Like the network that you're creating just within the
yes,
being the
it is.
DMs after this. You're like,
Hit it. Hey, come on. We tell people, hit us up. It is not, like I said, those different things, those different avenues. Yes, do we enjoy? Do people know us as having a good time? Yes. When we have weekends where we have, like I said, our gala, which is one of the biggest Christmas parties, it's a full weekend. We have probates. When we have events, we make sure that they are full weekends because we understand people travel and people hate to travel just for one day, right? You're not going to get on a plane to just go for one day. So, yes, we do have most of the parties that weekend, community service outreaches, increase, things like that. Are we known as an organization who is going to have a good time? Yes. But we also understand that when you search through our social medias or when you search through our website, will you see that? Yes, but you're going to see more of the community impact and the community engagement than you will see the partying, right? Is it part of us?
mhm,
Yes. Everyone loves to have a good time. That's a fact, right? And at the end of the day,
mhm,
we understand recruiting people see with their eyes. So if you see us out partying or strolling or having a good time, that's might be the initial attention of, oh, what's that? That type of thing. But inside of it, when you get around us and you see, no, it's a network of people. Like I said, we have community leaders, have officials, HRC member, board members, Congress members. We have one of our other members who just was crowned a king of one of the Mardi Gras courts in New Orleans. We have doctors, we have people that have nurses that they train and do training for different nursing programs. We have somebody that has their own practice that, she has her own practice. So she has patients that come in for their checkups and different things like that. Lawyers, even extreme bodybuilders, cleaners, like you can think of the
right,
network of people that you might need in our organization. But that is because we've been able to feed into those members who stepped in unsure about themselves. And it's like, what do you want to do? What is it that you want
mhm,
to do? We're going to help you get to that and help you feed to that. It's no different than the Divine Nine members that you guys see that this person was elected and you ain't realize that this famous person was in that organization or that sorority or
mhm,
that fraternity. You know what I mean?
right,
Having a grand marshal, like that's big in our community. Having someone on
right,
the HRC board of governors traveling to Washington and be able to impact and make, you know, those conversations and those speeches in front of those officials, that's big in our community. Having
yeah,
HIV activists and board members, that's big on our community side of it. So for us, it is
mhm,
big with that impact and being able to branch out to the different boards that I've been able to be involved of. Is simply why I say it is literally when I say I am the concerned human, it's not because of the other stuff. It's simply because of what I've been able to do and what avenues I've been able to step in now to impact the community where the concern comes from, not the party side. It is truly the community.
yeah. And I think it's important too because people have like even I've like explored the Divine Nine, like oh, which one sorority would I fit, and I'm just like, and like I seen like studs like on like part of them, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
okay, but you still had to like wear the dresses, you still had to do like all that stuff, and I'm just like, that's really not me. So it's like, I
Right.
would be joining that to be
And
a
not be
part of
yourself.
this, yeah, and not like have to still mask a part of who I am in certain situations. So I
And I
get
don't
like
want people
what,
to see it wrong. Like we are classified as non-collegiate. So do we have Divine Nine members in our organization? Yes. When they were in college, they felt comfortable. That is what they pledged. That is who they were. You see what I'm saying? When
mm-hmm,
you're fresh out of high school and still finding your identity as a freshman, sophomore, junior, we understand that that is. So it's nothing that because they're collegiate and we're non-collegiate, as well as we're LGBT classified and community-based classified. We do have members in our organization that are former Divine Nine members. Some of them still are active in their Divine Nine chapters and things like that. So we don't want people to think that we shun upon that. It's the same way
yeah,
we don't want people to think we're trying to mock that. That is not who we're trying to mock.
right,
But we
right,
also, just like you stated, understand that there's people that feel more comfortable to authentically be able to live themselves 100% of the time with
mm-hmm,
us as opposed to that. Now, you'll flip through some of our socials, and I want to tell the people we are very real when we say that we understand that we are women and we do, one of our biggest fundraisers, and we still do not know why, but one of our biggest fundraisers is what we call a flip flop party, right? Where all of our masks presenting, we do present as feminine We always usually do it during Women Appreciation Month. We understand the struggles that women go through in general as a community, as a person, and we show our appreciation, as well as clearly as mass presenting. A lot of us date feminine presenting individuals who do walk around in heels for 24/7 or do, their makeup, their hair, all the things that they do to look presentable in that capacity. During Women History Month, we do a big fundraiser. 100% of the proceeds go towards a woman's impact and foundation. We do a flip flop party. We all dress up and we have our one day that we for our feminine presenting.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it. We have no
That's for
idea
a
why.
cause. You're doing that for a cause.
Right,
Like
right,
that's
very
for a
much so.
cause. That's different. Like I feel like you're doing it for a cause. There's something that they do in Lawrence, and it's a fundraiser where um, men will do the opposite, and they'll do drag
Yep,
and do a
yep,
fundraiser. I'm like, it's for a cause. Like,
yeah, we do.
and
We love it.
yeah, it's all good. I love what that organization does and what it represents for sure. I think it aligns very well with Kueen Talk, just like giving that representation and showing people are out there and the concerned human and what you're doing and making that impact on many people. Like once you guys go to theconcernedhuman.org, you will realize like it is a one-stop shop for a lot of different things, and you will be able to get access to a lot. Do you have like any advice for the queers and allies watching Kueen Talk right now?
Yes, don't judge a book by their cover, and everyone is always under construction, no matter how shiny they look. You never know what people are going through or what they will go through um, by their appearance and when they step in the door. My advice would be to stop betting on others and chase your own dreams and bet on yourself. And it's the best thing that I have done. To your point, when you go to theconcernedhuman.org, you will see it as a one-stop shop of everything. It's not a person; it is a brand. It is harder to chase down 10 different things when you are planning an event or when you are trying to do something than it is to communicate with one person that you trust. So that is why I stopped betting on others and I started betting on myself to bring you guys the concerned human to assist with that frustration and that bridge of that gap. So definitely check me out. Like I said, theconcernedhuman.org. I am on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. All of them are The Concerned Human for TikTok or Instagram. The Facebook is Kaptivator Wilson. If you search on Amazon, Kaptivator Wilson, you can find the book. But like I said, feel free, reach out. I am very transparent. I'm an open book. I am not one to gatekeep any information, regardless of if it is to myself, my organization, or anything going on in the community. So I implore you to use me as a resource. If you have resources that you would like to pour into us, to me, please reach out. I'm open to using them and helping them as well. Everyone in the community, everyone in the non-collegiate, everyone from me knows that I say, and my saying is, you cannot have a community without unity. It's understood. So I'm here to help. I'm here to assist.
Yes, yes. So many gems right there. Definitely no community without unity. I think that speaks for like all the impact that you're involved in. Like you understand like you're breaking those stigmas and barriers down and making connections and networking with people that you didn't have access to like here in Wichita. Like you're finding that. I love that about you. I love that you're doing that. And then everyone's under construction, no matter how shiny they look. Like definitely just like try to just not compare yourself of other people and what they're going through as well. And like you said, definitely bet on yourself all the time. Bet on yourself and find the circles, find that group. Like I said earlier, that community that you can be involved in, because I think that's really important when you find that individuals, that community around you that help build you and your identity and validate that, I think is very important. So thank you again, Captivator, for being a guest on Kueen Talk.
No problem. I appreciate you for having me. Keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, finding those communities, those avenues for mass presenting individuals are just difficult in general. Even a little small victory, I tell people all the time, celebrate the small victories. Even a little small avenue that assists with that, you never know when it is that time for it to be big and hit that right person, and it's going to impact bigger than you can believe of what it does. Keep doing what you're doing. But I greatly appreciate it. Shout out to Cuz again for connecting us. But I appreciate you for
Yes.
having me. It's definitely been a blessing. It's been an honor. So I appreciate it.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I've also just like realized just like more recently of just like you said, like my why. I think in church today, it was like he talked about just Pastor Mike Jr. I go to Rock City Church online, and he just talked about positioning, God's positioning, and he positioned you in places that you're meant to be. And Kueen Talk a year and a half ago, I did not know like what the world would be right now, and now more than ever, like our voices need to be heard. So I think it is, and this work and what you're doing is very important. So thank you again, you guys. Check out queentalk.com. What did you think of this episode? Did you check out the fraternity? Also, just make sure to check out ThaConcernedHuman.org. Check out the website, what they could possibly help you with, what you can, all the information that you can gather from Kaptivator and the impact that they're making. Like, shout out to you. Appreciate it. Guys, as always, family, friends, strangers, love, and be nice.